Hi guys, Gareth here and welcome to this Plunk production. So I have tried to record this video over the last 4 weeks, and every time I record this video I end up waiting on uploading it or editing it or whatever I need to do with the video, and then a couple of days later something else happens that I could include in the video, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll scrap the last video and I'll re-record a new video, and that's been going on for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So here we are. Before we go any further, this video is going to be very long, windy and rambly and all that kind of stuff. So if that's not your cup of tea, then, you know, by all means go and watch, you know, some other YouTube video channel or put a movie on or whatever you want to do. But if you want to, you know, chew the fat with me, shoot the shit as they say, then buckle up and we shall talk. So I'm going to take a swig of, as I forget where I put it, some water. I was going to bring up a coffee or a tea or something, but I just got a sudden inspiration to do this video now, basically. And ironically, it was through watching a Bob Ross marathon on Twitch, of all things. It seems every weekend now, Twitch now do a Bob Ross marathon. And I was watching a bit of Bob Ross and decided to, it inspired me to do a YouTube video. Don't ask me why, just, it did. Anyway, so we're going to start right back almost a month ago. I don't know if I've actually shown this off on camera yet. I think once or twice maybe. But a friend graciously, generously bought me Mortal Kombat 11 Premium Edition for the PlayStation 4. This is the Steelbook edition. Looks really nice, I must say. Make sure, although I've used them, make sure those codes aren't visible on camera. Has the Mortal Kombat emblem there, and it's a really nice Steelbook, and has the absolutely, I think, gorgeous MK11 logo, which apparently the person who designed that worked really hard on it, and it went through many iterations, but I think it turned out very, very well. If you want my thoughts and opinions on Mortal Kombat 11, I will be doing a standalone review at some point of it. Needless to say, I highly like it. It's a very, very smooth game. What I mean by that is that Mortal Kombat 10, in a lot of people's eyes, was the perfect Mortal Kombat game and a very good fighting game to boot. And they've managed to, in my eyes, managed to improve upon it even more. Now, you could really look into the nitty-gritty of Mortal Kombat 11, and I know there's some hardcore players who aren't particularly fond of it, and there are some holes and some gaps and some glaring issues with it. But I, for the most part, enjoy it. In fact, I enjoy it so much that I went out and bought a arcade stick or a fight stick. So just after payday last month, I had a doctor's appointment to take my blood pressure and a blood test. Went to the doctor's, and while I was there, I popped to my city centre and was literally aimlessly walking around looking for something to buy. Looked in the window of CEX, and lo and behold, they had a PS4 fight stick. It's the Real Arcade Pro Kai Hori fight stick. And I bought it. I had a £12 CX voucher, which brought it from £58 down to £46. I've just realised it ended up being £42 in the end. Maybe it wasn't the £58, because sometimes CX will have a price on their items, but it's actually cheaper. They just forget to change the price, so maybe it was a bit cheaper. Anyway, and I played for a while with that fight stick. However, and I thoroughly enjoyed playing it with that fight stick, and I played some Dragon Ball Fighters with that fight stick, and Dragon Ball Fighters with a fight stick is so fun, I must say. However, I had to stop because stupid me, 2 days before going out and buying said fight stick, decided to break this very finger here. Now, it's actually pretty much completely healed, as in the soft tissue. There was actually still a pain there in terms of, you know, the finger. I decided to break my finger, by the way, if you didn't know what I did. I decided to drop a concrete lintel on it. Yes, it hurt a lot. And I broke the tip of my finger, basically crushed it, or crumbled it, whatever you want to say. And when I was pounding on the fight stick, it would hurt quite a bit. And the thing with it is, because I'd obviously damaged part of my hand, the pain would resonate through the hand and make the whole hand have like a dull ache to it. In fact, it still sometimes has that dull ache. I think I've done some permanent damage, if I'm being honest. But anyway, that's beside the point. We carry the scars of life through us till the end. As I swear that's a quote from somebody. I probably butchered the quote, but you know what I'm trying to say. And obviously, pounding on a fight stick, if you know what a fight stick is, wasn't conducive to my hand. And I basically put both the fight stick and Mortal Kombat 11, incidentally, down until my finger was healed enough that I could play it without being in immense pain. So that's, that's a few updates there. As Mortal Kombat 11, thoroughly enjoying it. I broke my finger and then foolishly, incorrectly, I don't know, indecisively, I don't know, decided to, erroneously, it's a good word, decided to buy a fight stick. Only to find out that having a broken finger and pounding on a fight stick with a broken finger, not a good idea. Not a good idea. So yeah, that's basically all of those updates wrapped up into one. I was having a bunch of fun playing Mortal Kombat 11, Dragon Ball FighterZ, as I said, all with the fight stick, until my hand started to hurt quite a bit. So that was that. And I just vowed to, put that to one side. So my wages for this month, for the end of May going into June, were due to be very nice. In fact, I obviously now know my wages and they were very nice. And at the time, before I was going to get paid, I was looking at getting a 4K telly. However, with the amount of money I was going to spend on the 4K telly, and with what I needed to upgrade, HDMI cables, I probably need to upgrade the HDMI splitter to make sure it's HDMI 2.0 compatible. There's a bunch of stuff I would have had to upgrade, and it would have to have cost a lot more money than was originally planned. Also, me and my dad decided to upgrade our network here at home. We've now got a wireless AC router, and we upgraded all of our Ethernet cables to Cat 6 cables, which are basically better than Cat 5 and give you better speeds than Cat 5. So yeah, we actually did that today, technically, or yes, Saturday, technically. But we decided to do that a couple of weeks back, and I sort of and was like, yeah, maybe I'll forego buying a 4K telly and do some other bits with the money. I was going to spend, I think it was 300 to 350 on the 4K telly, and I decided to forego that. Instead, I perused eBay for a bit one Saturday, and I then decided to submit a best offer on something, then got cold feet, retracted the best offer, only to get a message 5 minutes later saying, oh, this seller has offered you a discount price for this item. Exactly the same amount of money that I just best offered for. So I ended up buying it because I felt guilty. What is it I'm talking about? Some people aren't going to know what this is, but hey ho, it's the Steel Battalion controller. You may or may not know what Steel Battalion is, but it was a mech game released on the original Xbox back in 2002, I think it came out. And the game you probably won't know about, but the controller was pretty famous because it's a massive 40-button controller with 2 joysticks, and it looks like a part of a mech's cockpit. There's a reason why it looks like a part of a mech's cockpit, because it is part of a mech's cockpit. It also comes with a pedal set with 3 pedals on it, and it's a insane bit of kit. I did have one a number of years back, but we had to sell it, unfortunately. I have perused eBay on and off to look for one of these controllers again, and they often go for in excess of £300. In fact, for the longest time, the only one on eBay was one for £456, bit of a strange amount of money, and it was a sealed copy of the controller and the games that come with it. But yeah, it's £456, a little bit out of my price range. Recently, I've been looking up the Steel Battalion controller, and there are some that pop up around the £300 price point. Again, I was this close to actually buying one for £300, but I decided to back away, not do it, whatever. And then I started seeing some around the £200 price mark. And again, I was that close to pulling the trigger. Instead, I found one that was a best offer and offered £150. Well, as I have already tipped my hat about, I submitted the best offer, got cold feet, retracted the best offer, and then 5 minutes later got a message from eBay saying, oh, this seller has offered you a discount price on this item, which was the £150 I'd just offered them. Then I got a follow-up message straight after, when I say straight after, a few minutes after I accepted the best offer, from the seller saying, oh, I've just put a offer out for what you submitted, and whoever accepts it gets it, basically. If any of the other buyers accept it, if not, it's yours. Well, I then got another message about half an hour later from the seller saying, oh, I didn't realise it sent that out to all watchers. So what you can do as a eBay seller is, if you've got an item listed, you can literally put it down to a discounted price, and all of your watchers currently will get a message saying this seller has just offered you a special price, basically, and it only goes out to the watchers. And the first person to go, yep, I'll take it, gets it. And there's a few times that's happened to me where I've been watching an item and then I get a notification through eBay, and like the person has dropped 20 quid, 50 quid. Sometimes people drop. It's worth sometimes just watching some high value items just to see if the seller actually drops them by an amount of money. There's a laptop ages ago that didn't actually end up getting in the end due to reasons, but it was about, I think it was £150, and the seller dropped it by 50 quid randomly one day when I accepted at the time, paid for it, but long story short, the person's account got shut down. So not sure what happened there, whether they were scamming people, but yeah. So long story short, you know, the seller didn't know that it goes out to all of their watchers, including me. They didn't know I was a watcher. They just thought I just happened to cross this the Steel Battalion controller, and was like, oh yeah, I'll submit best offer. Oh bugger, I've now got cold feet. Remove best offer. They didn't realise I'd actually watched the item and I'd accepted their offer of £150. It doesn't come with the game, or games, with the game and its expansion pack, which is called Line of Contact. However, I have other ways of getting hold of that, so that's fine. My Xbox at the moment is in a bit of a, not disrepair, it needs a SCART cable and a controller. I should have gotten a controller today while I was out, which I'll get on to in a minute, but I completely blanked and forgot about that, so that's that. So yes, I have this Steel Battalion controller on its way to me at some point, so there's that. So Friday night, this week has been, well, last week rather now, because Sunday is the start of the week technically. Last week was really strange, really strange. Several things happened, and I'm not going to get into details, but things happened, and yeah, it was just a very bizarre week in a lot of ways. So I was really looking forward to relaxing on Friday evening. Came home from work, renewed my Xbox Live Gold, and decided to download Outer Wilds on Xbox One because it's in Game Pass at the moment. Proceeded to play it for about 10-15 minutes and it crashed. Okay, fair enough, whatever, it crashed. However, it took the Xbox with it. So it crashed. I managed to get back to my Xbox dashboard, but it was not responding very well. So I turned the Xbox off, turned it back on again, and it came to its recovery screen, if you will. Long story short, I couldn't get it off the recovery screen. I tried everything the Microsoft or the Xbox support website tells you to do. Nothing worked. So long story short, I took it back to CEX, where I bought it from originally. Again, long story short, I then walked away with a different Xbox One. Hopefully, Xbox One X, shall I say. Hopefully this one works a lot better. In fact, I know it works a lot better because I've been playing on it, and already I can tell it works a lot better because that previous Xbox One X had a problem from the start. Well, guess what? I was told by the member of staff that served me at that particular branch that, because I bought it at a different branch, however, the branch I went to yesterday is the only one that had some Xbox One X's in stock, so I might as well have gone there and did everything there. Turns out the previous Xbox One X had a bit of a history. It had an Xbox, it was refunded, bought and refunded 4 times in the space of 8 days. Yeah. So the staff member sent me away for half an hour and basically called up that store and told them a new arsehole. Then when I came back, he was like, yep, your Xbox is pooched. I've got another one set to one side. All you got to do is pay £5 difference. And considering I went from a discounted Xbox One X, which is the lowest, grade they give, to a boxed Xbox One X, I can't complain, to be kind of honest with you. So yeah, I've basically rebought, refunded, exchanged my Xbox One X for one that actually bloody well works now. So while I was out, I was perusing a couple of game stores to pick up something I wanted to reacquire. Something that I miss dearly since selling it about 2 months back now, when I wanted to get a new processor for my computer. Well, kind of needed to get a new processor for my computer. So I exchanged some stuff to CX, and this is one of the items I exchanged in, and just said to myself, yeah, I'll get a replacement at some point. Well, I didn't realise how much I'd miss it. And I was perusing around today while out whether I should buy one. However, I wanted to buy Mario Maker 2. I do want to buy Mario Maker 2. Well, when I got home, I checked when Mario Maker 2 comes out, and I get paid the same day that Mario Maker 2 comes out. So long story short, I can use next month's money to buy Mario Maker 2. So I thought, stuff it, if that's the case, then I'm going to rebuy a Switch Pro Controller. So I Amazon Primed now'd this. If you know what Amazon Prime Now, basically you can, it's same day delivery as long as the slot is available, which I've used it a few times, and it still baffles me that you can order something on a particular day and then it'll arrive later that day. It kind of does baffle me, baffles my dad as well, but it's just one of those things. Yeah, I still had the plastic on top because I was going to do a re-unboxing of this. I still might, but I just left that on there for now. But yes, I reacquired the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. In fact, there are several things that happened recently that made me want to rebuy the Pro Controller. One, that I was watching a stream on Twitch the other day in which the streamer playing had a Pro Controller. And what was the other thing of the day that made me really want to get a Pro Controller again? Oh yeah, that's it. So I bought a dongle for my Switch that allows me to use my Xbox One or my PlayStation 4 controller with it. But they keep disconnecting and keep causing a bunch of problems, and it's extremely frustrating. And although, yes, the Switch Pro Controller is expensive when you think about it, it's a bloody lovely controller. It is a really, really nice controller. You probably see on the internet everybody raving about these controllers. There's a reason why people are raving about these controllers. These are nice controllers. Are they worth the £50, £60 they're asking for them, well, only you can answer that, because, you know, price is subjective, and whether you have the money or not, again, is a personal thing. But, you know, I wanted to rebuy it, and when I found out that Mario Maker comes out next payday, I thought I'd pick it up. So there you go, new Pro Controller, and very happy with that. I think that's it for now. I am going to be recording a more cohesive video later than this one. I just wanted to sort of do a video, ramble for a bit, let you guys know what's been going on, and then, you know, later on I'll do a more succinct video. Anyway guys, you know this drill: like, dislike, subscribe, hit the bell icon, make sure the quotations are around it, and you receive a notification to your device of choice every time I upload a video. And as always guys, you have been a very patient and supportive audience, and until next time, please take care, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.